Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Zoom class. Today is September 9th, 2020, and I live in El Granada, which is in the Bay Area, and the smoke is so thick over the fog layer that it is like nighttime. It's just very weird, and so that's what we're going to paint today. I'd like to welcome all of you. These are two, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Good. So these are two cards that I painted today. So I try to look outside, and this is the view out my window right now that I can see. I have some mountains and I have these huge eucalyptus trees just right next to me. So I just put in this background and then I started painting the darks on the top, and that's what it looks like. And I did one vertical. I like that better, I think. Oh, I don't know, I kind of like them both. But, so that's what I thought we'd paint today. Do you want me to paint a card size or this size? 8.5 by 11. No comment. Okay, I'll do 8.5 by 11. So there's my piece of paper, and I'm gonna get my 3/4 inch, that's my 3/4 inch brush, clean water, and I'm gonna wet the whole thing. The colors that I'm gonna use today are, not surprising, the summer colors, this summer's colors, not every summer, but this summer's colors, which are burnt sienna and French ultramarine blue. The sky outside is just almost pure burnt sienna.
And it's amazing.
It's, what, Clayton?
Emphasis on the burnt.
Clay said, my husband said emphasis on the burnt. You got one nice polite laugh, dear. And then my joke got one nice polite giggle. And now we got another one. So the two of us were getting them. So this is all wet. This is a pretty fast painting because it's the same thing doing the cypress trees, but just the sky and the trees. So it'll go fast.
I was so sorry to miss that one.
Did you? Well, when you can see better, it'll be on YouTube.
That's right. I did see that. You're right.
It turns out okay with stopping it and starting.
Yes, great.
Now, I did put a little quinacridone gold in this before I put the burnt sienna on the top. You could do this with raw sienna. I just feel there's kind of a little yellow undertone to it all. This is raw sienna and quinacridone gold. Whatever you have, raw sienna or quinacridone gold, and it's just a little undertone to it. Painting the whole thing. It's pretty wet, and it's not going to dry fast today. So I might need to use a blow dryer. Okay, so that's the first coat. Now I'm going to add burnt sienna to this. And a lot of it, a lot of clean burnt sienna. I just put it right into that puddle. God, it's even getting darker just since we've been talking. I need to squirt some out so I can just really get this thick and on there. And I actually kind of think the lightest part of the sky is about right through here. It's darker at the top and it's darker at the bottom, so I'm going to make that the lightest part. I'm going to find some more burnt sienna and squish it out. So I can really just get my brush in there and get a whole lot of paint. I kind of thought about canceling today because it's just so weird. But then I remembered Evelyn on the day of 9/11. She was in the San Francisco airport and or the Sacramento airport, and she just went and rented a car and drove. I mean, she painted through all kinds of things. And I think we should too. Oh, I like that. So I got out a little more French Ultra. So now when that's not French Ultra, that's burnt sienna. I can stick my brush in there and get it nice and thick, and then I work it on the palette. It's getting a little drier at the bottom here. That's why it's even darker. I'm really working these edges. I'm just painting it, not so it's solid, but so that it's got a lot of color. Did any of you go out and try to take pictures of our sky?
I did.
Did your camera lighten it up?
Yes.
Yes.
It's really depressing. I looked at the picture and it's like, well, that's not how it looks. That's not dark enough.
Yeah, so we can paint it how it really looks. This is a great time to sign my name. It's all wet. This will matte, so I need to leave enough room for the matte. So I'm going to sign it up about a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch. It was funny, earlier I told Claire I was going to paint the sky, so then I did that quick card and I signed my name, and then she came in and she went, "Are you done? You signed your name already?" She goes, "Yeah, because you said you were going to paint the sky," and you did. I love how my name pops up when I brush it like that. So I'm feeling like that's kind of capturing the feel of what it looks like outside right now. And from where I'm sitting, I have some hills I can see behind my trees. So what I'm going to do is, I have to be careful now because I did put a little bit of quinacridone gold. I'm going to use French ultramarine blue now. But I have to be a little bit careful that it doesn't go too green. Excuse me. So this is French ultramarine blue with a little bit of burnt sienna in it. Right there, yeah. There you can see it better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look out my window again and figure out, or look at these two and kind of figure out where the sky is. If I want to keep it low or high. It seems like I should keep it sort of low. So I'm going to be lower than the half, about 1/3 of the way down here. And this is while it's still wet. And I have little trees on the top of the mountain behind me. This is Rancho del Tierra, open space back there. So I'm just putting that softly in. It's still wet. Not a straight line. And then what kind of happens is that this color kind of comes down, and then, and this is my side yard. It kind of stops about where I'm going to leave it about 1.5 inches. So I just have this sort of area right in here that's a little darker than the rest. And then I have grass next to my house. And it's kind of lighter too. So there's this little dark area. And it's gonna, I have it in this and it's gonna disappear. I don't know, maybe I should have left it out. Can try it. Now what I need to do is dry that before I put all my foliage on. So I'm gonna mute me and dry it. And now for the foliage, we're going to put the foliage in, and then we're going to put in the tree trunks, just like we did last week with the cypress. So this needs to just be as, when I'm looking out the window right now, it's just basically the trees right now are black, and there's so little light out there. It's like the sun has set and it's almost getting dark. That's how dark it is out there. So this is French, pure French right there. And I'm gonna add burnt sienna to it and just make that very black color. If it turns a little green, it's because of that quinacridone gold showing up. So it has kind of a French feel to it. French ultramarine blue feel to it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in my foliage. I'm going to show you this one. This is kind of what I'm going for there. And I'm looking out my window at my trees. And I'm just going to take, this is my 3/4 inch brush. I'm making, all my strokes are coming down. Like, because these are eucalyptus trees. So eucalyptus leaves are all hanging down. I'm doing this at the top of the painting. It's almost totally dark right at the top of my window here. None of the sky is showing through. But I'm going to switch over to this. Okay, so Nina just sent an email. Let me see what she just said. Nina just sent an email and she said, I tried taking a photo of the sky, but the camera kept trying to correct the color. So now I'm thinking of trying to capture it with my watercolors. The problem is no one will believe it's real. She is so right.
Good Halloween card.
Yeah, Okay, so I'm using, now this, I have a feeling I just put my fingers in pure French. Okay, I need to get into that mess. Okay, good. All righty. Where's that coming from? I don't know, everywhere. Okay. Now I'm going to use this brush that is my, I call this my number 10 museum brush. I'm just going to, yeah, I like that better. It's making like the shape of the eucalyptus leaves better. So the way that I'm painting with it is that I'm using the belly of the brush. I'm not painting up. I see how I've got it almost parallel to the paper. And then I make little brush strokes down. And I want to keep a lot of paint in this brush. So I'll just keep making more paint and loading it up. And you can see it has a little blue tint to it. I want to leave some spots where the sky is showing. Not so much at the top and definitely not the corners. And I want to have uneven spaces. Like there's kind of an even space right through there. So I don't want to put my clumps. I got to think uneven clumps so that it's going to be hard. And make some big, some small, all leave my holes in my sky all different distances apart. I'm just mixing this paint up as I go. It's just French and burnt sienna only. Oh, there we go. That nice dark color is what I really want. Okay, so if I have a hole there, I have a clump there, then this clump has to be a different distance apart. Then those three are exactly the same right now. So I'm going to make this one on the side bigger. There's 3 holes right there that are the same. I'm just going to keep going. I'm about halfway down. So I'm going to try to purposely make this one in a different spot than the others. I'm going clear up to the edge. And every brush stroke starts at the top and comes down. And I'm leaving some areas that I can see through. So now I have to make sure that the next clump of stuff I put in is a different shape and size than all of those things there. I'll just try a little one here. And I can use my brush and just put a few leaves hanging down. Not all of them, but just a few on each clump. Now I'm going to go to a different spot. I'm going to go here. kind of like this little area here where the trees are sort of showing. That's kind of pretty, so I think I'm going to purposely leave that view, leave it so you can see it, not cover it up. Like I didn't like this spot, so I covered it up, but I like that spot. This goes almost all the way to the ground. These trees out my window. Any place I see up here that seems a little pale, I'll put another layer over it. And then sort of at the bottom, there's sort of just a couple spots where the leaves sort of hang. I'm just using the tip of my brush to just put some of those in. What do I want to do? Do I want to cover this up right in here? I think so. A bunch of foliage, that's all. It's just so much blue and brown paint. My eye's going right to this spot right here because it's the lightest area, but I don't want my eye to go to the edge of my painting. So I have to cover that spot up. That'd be nice if that were right here, but it's on the edge, so goodbye. Get my eye to go someplace else. Is my pattern fairly irregular?
Yes.
The holes? Yeah, not too bad. This looks sort of blobby up here. I'll just try to add a few little spots to that. All right. That's where I'm going to stop on all the foliage. And then for the tree trunks, I'm just going to start them from the bottom and go right up to the top and out the page.
Could we see yours one more time?
The little one?
Yeah, your picture. When you painted before.
So
Yeah.
there's,
Thank you.
and then I also did it vertical.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so now I'm going to add that to those type of branches to this painting here. So the big main branch that I'm going to put in, I do not want to put it right up the center. I need to either move it to this side or this side. So I'm going to pick this side because when I look out the window, that's actually kind of where it is. And I'm hoping to sort of catch those up there. So I will load my brush. It's the same color as the foliage. There's no difference right now. I'm just going to, so my brush is fully loaded. I'm just going to start this way. I'm painting up. I'm going to start off center and push down nice and thick. And then when I get this foliage, I think I'll go right over, but then I'm going to stop. Then here I paint, and here I paint, and here I paint. So now I kind of have to even it out because it, it looks like a little, I won't even say what it kind of looks like right there, but I'll just flatten it out or straighten it out here. It always has to get bigger at the bottom. And then I want to have branches coming off of it, and looking out my window, I have a branch that comes out this way, right very low, so it's a pretty big branch too. Just kind of figure where does it go. it stops and then it starts, and each time it stops, then it's skinnier at the next spot. And it's always nice if you see branches coming off. You don't want to make every branch come off smack in the center of one of your openings, but sometimes they come out here, here. The openings are the focal points. And also, if you have an opening, try not to make your branches that go through it exactly the same distance apart. So I have a little opening there, then a bigger one, then a little one. So you divide it up differently. You don't divide it up into 3 equal openings. So it's always that same thing of trying to override your brain to make it be a different, you know, interesting rather than just 1 inch apart every time. So now I need to put in another one down here, and I don't want it to be the same distance apart. So I think not there, because that divides it beautifully into 3 equal spots. So I'll move it over. To here, and it's going to be a little skinnier. Kind of ran out of paint. Started skipping. Here. Divide it here. That's a good one. I think this will be a good spot for a nice big branch to come out this way and catch all of these. And eucalyptus branches come off at a fairly tight angle, about a 25 to 35, but then they have some weird ones that just come off like they broke off and they went sideways. So those are fair too. Those add to it. Let's bring a little trunk right up next to that one. So I need something right in this middle part to kind of capture all of those guys. So I either can do a branch coming off, I can do another whole tree. I think that's what I'm going to do. Just make this like a little grouping of 3. There's a nice open spot right here in this painting. Does it need a branch through it, or do I leave it alone?
Leave it.
Okay. I think I'm going to stop. One of the things we can do is we can add a little bit of burnt sienna to these tree trunks on one side, although boy, they are really just sort of dark, but I think it might add a nice little touch to the painting. Let me try it. The pure, that's not even pure burnt sienna. All right, I'm just going to try it to the left side of the tree trunk. We did this to the cypress.
That looked good on cypress.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to work on this. I think, what do I think? Well, I feel like this is how it feels. there isn't really the sunlight catching in the morning light on it and warming it up. It's just kind of eerie.
Yeah,
So I think I'm going to stop with that right there.
looks nice.
And then I think it will. I've got an old mat in my hand I'm trying to hide right there. I'm trying to find a critique mat.
Hmm.
So that's how it mats up. And I have these mats still for $5 if you guys want those nice double mats when you get done with this.
Hmm.
So there it is.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
And boy, what?
It's still darker yet, isn't it?
What?
It got darker even.
Yes.
Crazy.
I'm going to put us on gallery.
Hmm.
So did anybody paint?
I just painted the background. I'm gonna go look outside and see what the trees are like out front.
Good idea. Yeah. Oh, Penny, it's beautiful. Yep. Simple. Yep. Yeah.
I can't see the branches too well where they join in, so I don't.
I like it. Sometimes when you like have something with your eyes, I've told this story so many times. You guys have heard all the stories, but there was this lady when I was taking lessons with Evelyn and she had a stroke. So she couldn't use her right hand. She's right-handed and she painted with her left hand. Her paintings were so much better after her stroke with her left hand. She wasn't as tight.
Yeah.
Okay, Vicki, now let's look at yours. Yeah, nice. Good, good, good going up with your branches and catching your foliage. And I like the dark foliage at the top. Can you hold it back a little bit further from the camera and a little higher maybe? There we go. Yeah. Yep. That captures it. That's the feel right there. In the camera right now, Vicki, the background is kind of washed out.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're looking at it, is it darker than that? You know what I'm saying? Is it?
Mm.
If you look at it hold it up and then you look at your picture in the screen. Because sometimes we gets washed out a little bit. Okay, so now can you see your own screen, Vicki?
Yeah,
Is that a little bit washed out?
it is, but it's more washed out on the camera.
Right, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, very nice job.
But it could use some more color, I think.
Said they painted the background. Is it Laura?
Hmm. Yeah,
Who said you painted your background?
I did.
Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, that's got a lot of color to it.
Yep,
That's nice.
nice and streaky. Getty, did you paint it all?
I painted the background and let it dry, and then I did the trees separately, so on another piece of paper, so I can do the trees later.
Okay, very good. All right. So I'm going to turn off the recording. Thank you, everybody, for joining with YouTube. And we'll see you all later and next time.